pop culture, celebrity culture. Welcome back to my channel. So, today we are talking about Taylor Swift and Tom.
My name's Joe.
Breakup. I am actually new to the Taylor Swift phenomenon. I guess I've been living under a rock, so I don't know a lot. I know that she's had a lot of breakups, and this is the latest one, and I guess this was, I don't know. Anyway, let's just get into it. So I'm being guided to actually start. Wow, this is so interesting. Being guided to start with the romance deck. Holy smokes. So I just want y'all to see this. So first I had it like this, and it was love yourself first. And I was just about to shuffle, but then something said, turn it over, and I got unrequited love. No big deal, except for the fact that we also have unrequited love here in the past life deck. Wow, wow, wow. And then we have the Five of Pentacles left out in the cold. Holy smokes. So, guess this is where we start. Okay, so whose energy is this? Whose energy is this? Okay, so this is Taylor's energy. Thank you, Spirit. So this is Taylor's energy. So since this is the past life deck, wow, wow, wow. And this unrequited love is here, and this phobias is here as well. So this is making me feel like this unrequited love, this feeling unloved, is definitely something that has traveled over from her past life. This feeling of not enoughness. And even though we have, wow, scribe or writer, so I do know that she is known for her, like her pen. So this is super interesting. So again, this is just her showing up in the reading as this scribe or this writer who writes about unrequited love and things of that nature. So this past life has brought her into this life feeling out in the cold. This phobia of being left, this phobia of being alone. That light, yeah, there we go. That's better. And so that fear has trickled into everything. I'm seeing it almost like a germ. The fear of not being loved for who I am is what I'm hearing. Not for what I can do, but what I'm desiring is to be loved as I actually am, and not what I can do for people, for the label, for authority figures and things of that nature. But there is this imprint of unrequited love, and that is something that needs to be addressed. Until that is actually addressed fully and completely, we will keep seeing this revolving door. We also have religious factors here in reverse. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I'm not really sure what her religious upbringing is. I can guess. I don't know if it has, if she is influenced by it now, but because it is in the reverse, I feel like, oh, I feel like this is more goes up with this past life than this life. So past life, unrequited love, but also I'm hearing like caste systems, and past life religious factors is also like a veil. I'm seeing like a veil, almost even the way this is a halo. Oh, I never noticed this before. There's an Ankh, there's the Jewish star. I bet that this feels like the Celtic cross to me, even though I can't see the whole thing. The Om, the Muslim symbol. Yeah. So being persecuted in another life, that for her religious beliefs, I feel is also, also something that is heavy in her energy. There is an energy of persecution. Again, that the hands of authority figures that also comes into play in this life. Wow. So I'm interested also about, so that's sort of the undercurrent energy. And so this sacred destiny, oh, I also had that life purpose deck. Where's the life purpose deck? I feel like that's, yeah. So there also feels like there is a conflict. Yeah. Where's the source of the conflict between the relationships? Where's the source of the conflict? Ace of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Oh, interesting. So she's showing up as the Ace of Swords. I'm not sure what her birth chart. Oh, she's a Sagittarius. That's right. But that's all I know. I don't know anything else about the birth chart. But there's something here too. There's something here about, so even though she's a Sag, I feel like this is her showing up as this Ace of Swords. This is the sword of truth. And so, and then this Judgment for me is, again, issues from the past. There was a need for new thoughts with this Ace of Swords, right? Because this is about new beginnings and initiating new things. And so there actually was this need for Taylor to look at things differently, to begin to look at things differently, to begin to look at her life differently. And I do believe that she sees that now. And this is interesting too, because I did see that Bejeweled video. So that gives me very much like this fantasy garb and even the crown. And so this past relationship is going to have her judging herself and judging even the people in her life and her past actually differently. We do have the Devil here, and this is about addictions. But I feel like this is more the people around her, like the industry. I feel like this is very much the industry. Very much the industry calling her out, calling her names, judging her harshly. And these things are, I hope this makes sense, because the energy isn't all over the place, but I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. So I hope this makes sense, but this feels very much like the industry. And yeah, and it's like her being judged, all these other people judging her as well. But because this is also a card for me of like the past, and this goes back to the past lives as well. So it's like all of these old, every time there's a breakup, every time there's a news story, even when we were together, it's not like she's able to let things go. Now I get it. Thank you, Spirit. It's like she's bringing things up from the dead. And this is one of the most perfect illustrations of the Judgment card for me, because it's literally things coming up from the dead. So it's like always searching, always looking for the other shoe to drop. Oh my God. So she was always looking for the other shoe to drop in the relationship. And so this is her judging herself. This is us as the larger society judging her. So excited to call her out at any moment. So excited to suck her dry like a vampire for money or for whatever, right? 100%. Even people that she trusted, right? So there is a huge issue with trust here, which makes sense, which totally makes sense, right? So bringing all of those issues into what could have been their happy home. Wow. Because you see, I put this down and went to all of these. Because these are all of the things. These are all of the things that interrupted that management. So Sister Girl's got, a lot of stuff with her, like many of us. And she probably has more issues than us because she has more people that she's responsible for, like literally. She has people that look up to her. So she actually also has a lot of pressure. And perhaps she wasn't able to cut it off, to separate, to sever that pressure. And that came into this happy home. All of those outside pressures came into her quote unquote happy home. And now here she is having to start again, looking like the fool once again, right? It's like, oh my God, here we go again, right? Here we go again. So we have the Magician, we have the High Priestess here. I'm not going to keep pulling from this deck, I promise. I'm going to put it over here. Holy shit, but not before I take this one. Because they just, yeah. So we have the Magician here. This was in the reverse. And we have the, so yeah, here she is feeling a little bit like a fool. The Magician has everything at its disposal. It has earth, air, fire, water. It has the Pentacles here, which represents earth, the things of the earth, the things that we want to see grow and accomplish. We have the Cups here, which is all about our emotions. We have the Sword, which is about our ideas. We have the Wands, which is about action. And so again, it's like she has everything she needs at her disposal, like most of us, right? So she has more pressure, but she also has more things, right, than most of us. But it's hard for her to see it because, again, she has all these people watching, right? Us included, doing these videos, me included, right? Watching. And so it's like, even though she has everything, she doesn't quite feel like that. But I do see a shift coming with this High Priestess here. I do see a shift coming. I do see her digging more into the root of these issues because of the relationship. And of course, I'm just talking about her. I'm not talking about him yet. Maybe I will. I'm not sure. But yeah, so definitely see her digging more into her spiritual side, because that's what the High Priestess is about. The High Priestess lives between the light and the dark, what is seen and what is unseen, the light and the shadow. And so I do believe that, this relationship, and they might even get back together, because I have this new love in reverse. They might even get back together. Yeah, they might even get back together. I'm not sure, but they might. With her balancing her light and her dark. So that, yeah, there's also something for me about balancing the light and the dark. How can I be in this business and not let it suck me dry, right? These are things that, how can I be in this business and be able to withstand the harsh judgment without letting it get so up under my skin where I literally can't trust anyone. She's seeing that the lack of trust and the over concern with the money and the career, she's really starting to see where that has gotten her. Right? It always ends up, isn't that a song? It always ends up the same way. It always ends up eventually in the same place. It always ends up in the same place. And then she has to start all over again. She has to make magic all over again, right? To try to get to this happy family. Ultimately, she wants to get to that happy family, obviously. Right? I do like to see the Nine of Swords in reverse. So that's good, right? So it's like the more that she delves into her spirituality, like all of us, the more we delve into our spirituality, the more these swords start to fall away. You know, these are definitely, this is a card of being up at night, your thoughts, all of those things, keeping you up at night. Right? We have these moons here, and moons are again about illusions and delusions. So there's those nightmares, right? The things that are definitely those wounds with this color red, right? Going over and over again, the things that you did wrong, and even the finance and career with the red as the wound. And the devil, right? There's lots of red here. So there's lots of wounding. Red also is the lifeblood. So there's also a lot of passion still. A lot of passion for. And so, yeah, so this lifeblood here, this is also passion, right? So it's wounding, it's passion, it's all of the things. And she's starting to make these connections between like what the industry has given me and what the industry has cost me. And she's starting to make sense of it. Oh shit, didn't she do Midnights? And she talked about how she doesn't sleep. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And there it is, but it's coming to an end. Well, good. I'm glad that's coming to an end. I'm glad that those sleepless nights are coming to an end. And that's for all of us too, right? It's like we look to celebrities because they are literally luminaries, right? They're like stars in the sky, and we can look to them and we can find things for our own life. And so it's like, how many of us struggle with feeling unloved? Shit, I know I have. I do still sometimes. And that seeps out into our lives, and it blocks us. And so, yeah, so the answer is digging into our own shadow, doing our shadow work. Pulling out the sides of us that are not so squeaky clean, not being afraid to let people see our dark side, even though this is a card of addiction. That's the way out for so many of us. And then, of course, creativity, writing, right? Those are ways for us as well. So that's what I have for her. So for him, again, I know even less about him than I do about her. Like, she came into my consciousness. Why? Why did Taylor Swift even come into my consciousness? She came into my consciousness, I would say last year. So like most people, or like most stars who are like, big like her, of course they exist in sort of the background, right? Like, of course I remember Kanye taking the mic from her, and even then I really didn't know who she was then. And yeah, I always when there's like big things happening, I always have to think back, like, why weren't you more keyed into this? What were you doing? So why weren't you? And so I have to think about what, I mean, I just was working for a long time. And yeah, I worked a lot. I traveled a lot. And so, and maybe also because of my age, she just wasn't in my mind at all. Of course, that song, "We're Never Ever Getting Back Together," right? It's like weird with celebrity because it's hard to, especially with the internet, it's hard to know where they pop into your conscious, right? It's like they're just, some of them are just like there lingering. And so I think last year, maybe it was All Too Well. I think it was. I think it was All Too Well because I like Stranger Things. And so I like that little redhead. And so, can't think of her name right now. And so I listened to that song and then I was like, oh, I really like this song. And then I started looking at some of her other songs and then I got into the whole, like, the scarf and all of that. And so that's how she really dropped into my awareness. Yeah. So I think that was last year that happened. And so, yeah. So that's where we are. So now this guy, Tom Alwyn, what's the conflict for him? What is the conflict for Mr. Oh, y'all saw that fly out. Builder. Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. Now, I asked about a conflict and I got a builder. Isn't this interesting? We have this, like, quote unquote big strong man. So I wonder if he didn't feel like he could build with her because of all of these issues. I also feel like it's more of not even the issues, because we all have issues, but I wonder if it's more about like also his ego, because we have this man here and sometimes they're a little intimidated. Was this an intimidation thing? Was there intimidation here? Okay, so we have a little bit of maybe. So maybe, which makes sense, right? It's like, you're a dude. There's expectations, right? Wow. Resourceful, flexibility, balancing, adapting. So he tried to adapt. This is my wishes come true card because she felt like a wish come true. So no. Well, I'm not going to say no. Maybe there is a little jealousy here. How can I build? How can I create? She really doesn't need me for anything, quote unquote. Yeah. Yes. She doesn't need me for anything. And here's this devil again. So it's not it, but it was more of this. It was more of the industry. So yeah, she doesn't, quote unquote, need me to build anything. So I'm going to just chill. It's like, wow. This is what I came here to do, was build. And I'm trying to juggle my role, her role, my life. But I don't really see myself in all of this industry nonsense, all of and even addiction, again, because this is a sign of addiction. So we actually don't even know what all she experienced, what she's seen in the industry that has chained her, kept her chained, kept her bound, I'm hearing. And so he's like, I just need a break. I just need a break. So again, there might be a reconciliation because he just needed a break from the drama. He just needed a break from the drama. But there's still an opening here. There's still an opening. Is there a chance for reconciliation here? Is there a chance for reconciliation here between Taylor and Tom? Taylor and Tom, Taylor and Tom. This is so fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. There is an opportunity for a reunion. Of course, they have to choose. Of course, there's lots of indecisiveness. This is him right now contemplating all of the things. Wow, this is so fun. What? Oh, shit. I didn't even shuffle. I just want y'all to see. Wow. I actually would not be surprised if they got back together. I would not be surprised if they got back together. I would not. Tom and Taylor. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So what I was thinking, but what I didn't say is like, what are his non-negotiables? And I got this: free yourself. So he really would need her to free herself from the industry. What about Taylor? How is she feeling? Okay, that's too many. That's way too many. But this is interesting. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So this is her trying to release him. Interesting. Well, what's the sort of... So he wants her to... So they both want some sort of release. They both want some sort of release. Wow. And then we have forgiving and learning as you release. Oh my God, I just said they're both wanting some kind of release. As you release and heal the past, your experiences in love, you experience more love in the present moment. This situation involves marriage. That's the desire. The desire is to forgive, to learn from our mistakes, to free ourselves from what binds us, so that we can actually have that 10 of Cups, that happy marriage. I don't know what else to say. This was fun. Drop down in the comments. Let me know if you liked it. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun for me. I am going to do another video on Scandival, and I'll see you soon. Bye.